Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Ardis Show. I'm your host, Dr. Brian Ardis, and I'm so excited to actually present to you a presentation that I haven't done for the general audiences here. I only did a portion of this at the Red Pill Expo in South Dakota about a month ago with G. Edward Griffin, and very excited to show you everything I've learned in a presentation I titled "The Venom Industrial Complex." Now, I'm going to present this entire show right now, and then we're going to break it down into three individual segments I'm going to expound on over three different shows. There's basically three different divisions I'm going to highlight here in this show that the industries around the world are actually manufacturing venoms at massive amounts, and I'm about to show you. It would be shocking to most people to see how much cocaine and methamphetamines are being manufactured in labs and sheds and homes around the world. Wait till I show you what it looks like, what venom looks like as it's being shipped from one lab and one manufacturer after another around the world to different suppliers that manufacture these three primary categories of items. Venoms are being used around the world for decades to manufacture drugs and vaccines, cosmetics, and insecticides. And so we're going to dive in there in this presentation, very special presentation of the Dr. Ardis Show. And as always, remember, you can actually get this entire presentation underneath the Patient Resources tab. But I just need to remind you, if you're not looking, you don't know what's being put in your food, what's being put in your cosmetics, what's being put in your drugs and vaccines, if you're not asking. So I'm going to show you some of the things that have blown me away that I'm excited to show you. All right, so let's dive right in. Hope you guys had a great week, actually, and a great weekend. Hopefully, too many of you aren't shocked by the events of last weekend, but I'm very, very, very pumped to show you this presentation specifically. All right, so let's share the screen. All right, so I titled this, as you can see, the Venom Industrial Complex, and here we go. All right, so there's the QR code that allows you to scan direct access to our platform that gives you access to all of our free documentation, resources, and this PowerPoint presentation. All right, now this is a guy named George Orwell, very well known. It's been discussed during the COVID-19 pandemic. He wrote a book titled 1984 about the takeover of Marxism, socialism. He's credited with this quote: "In a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act." Huh. Well, I can resonate with that one because when I spewed on the world the fact that COVID-19 was venoms being used around the world, it appeared to be something ridiculous. And when I told the truth, there literally was an attempt to shut me up, get me kicked out of events all around the world, and then slander, disinformation published about me all around the world. In fact, this is one of them. This is from USA Today. Fact check: COVID-19 caused by a virus, not snake venom, by Brianna J. Frank. You can see the date there. It was the same week the Watch the Water documentary came out, May 15th of 2022. This is in USA Today. Dr. Frank, same article. Dr. Frank Levecchio, medical director of Arizona State University's College of Health Solutions, said the claim that the virus is snake venom is absurd and not consistent with any medical knowledge, any medical fact, any medical journal. I find this ironic because, and I highlight this statement, because Dr. Frank's statements as a medical director of Arizona State University, you would think he would know that there were medical scientists at another university in Arizona who a year earlier already published in medical journals that it was snake venom. So I highlight the University of Arizona because the University of Arizona, the year before, this is 2021, published this article. It's like venom coursing through the body. Researchers identify the mechanism driving COVID-19 mortality. If you read the bottom first statement of their article, researchers have identified what may be the key molecular mechanism responsible for COVID-19 death, an enzyme related to neurotoxins found in rattlesnake venom. So ridiculous. All right, so I want to just show you this on the screen because you're going to see it later. This looks like a whole bunch of bags of flour, cocaine. Every time I show this to audiences, they go, "Oh, it's cocaine." No, it isn't. But just look at the packaging. These big boxes, these containers, like you see on a container ship, that are full of white bags of powders, cardboard shaped barrels that are filled with 25 kilograms, 20-kilogram cartons. These are drums, bags, cold chain shipping. You'll also see at the bottom. Don't really know what that is, but I want y'all to see this is Venom in drums and bags. Did you know that they shipped Venom around the world like this? Did you know that this is one factory in the world that produces Venom out of hundreds? Does that astound you? This is actually a diagram I just want to bring to your attention. Kind of looks like the target on a dartboard. Uh, but the red in the middle are specific animal venoms. The blue are the actual patents owned by who? Individual universities, companies, individuals. And then the green all around, you're going to be shocked to learn what that is in just a minute. All right, so this is a New York Times article, Deadly Venom from Spiders and Snakes. May also cure what ails you. I just want you to consider the oxymoron aspect of this title, Deadly Venom. Deadly Venom. I'll repeat, Deadly Venom. And then the last word is also cure what ails you. Okay, that seems like the opposite. Sounds like an attempt to try to make you trust chemotherapy as a cure for cancer, some deadly poison. Here's BBC's Science Focus. Look at the title of their article, The Bite That Cures. How we're turning venom into medicine. Here's the Future of Medicine article I've shown for years now, how genetic engineering will change us in the next century. This cover of this Time magazine is published. The date is top left, January 11th, 1999. Here's some articles since 1999 discussing how genetic engineering will help change us in the next century and how venom will be used as medicine in the future. So here's some, I just want y'all to know, you don't milk snakes really to actually make venom and supply venom to the world to make you sick or poison you. They don't milk a snake and put that venom inside of cosmetics, inside of drugs, vaccines, and insecticides. No, I'm going to show you the science. Here's some articles. Science News, biologists are one step closer to creating snake venom in the lab. Here's another one. Scientists can potentially mass produce snake venom with new technique to make antivenom. New Scientist, snake cells grown in the lab produce venom we could use as medicine. Here's another one from CNN. Snake venom can now be made in a lab, and that could save many lives. Yeah, because venom's saving lives everywhere. So dumb. Snake venom is a boon in search for life-saving drugs. Oh, really? I didn't know that. This is CNN again. How about this from Yahoo Finance? Venom-based drugs market, global industry size, share, trends, opportunity, and forecast for the years 2017 to the year 2027 alone. We're not even in 2027. We're in 2024. So we're in this range. What did they say? The global venom-based drugs market is anticipated to observe impressive growth during the forecast period 2023 to 2027. That's right now. The major factors include growing incidences of various diseases. Oh, really? Did you know as diseases are growing in their number, medical diseases, that venoms need to be used? So ridiculous. And rise in initiatives by government and private organizations, which are curbing the growth of the market. Here's another one, another example of a drug made from venom. The rise of Ozempic. How surprise discoveries and lizard venom led to a new class of weight loss drugs. We wouldn't have Ozempic without Gila monsters, their hunger-regulating venom-inspired weight loss drugs. This is from actually Business Insider magazine. And we're going to introduce you to a company called Celtic Biotech out of Ireland. So this is their homepage. Fighting cancer naturally is what the slogan is on that white part of the screen. You'll see their logo in the top left, a ring of green with a snake around a staff. What is Celtic Biotech up to? At Celtic Biotech, we are developing innovative therapies for solid cancers and associated pain in humans. Our products aim to be life-changing treatments for cancer patients, increasing survival rates, quality of life, and affordably for patients worldwide. What are they using? We are using natural peptides, little proteins. that are isolated from snake venom to help the body fight cancer. Innovative, safe, and effective treatments developed from venom neurotoxins have the potential to revolutionize the field of medicine and improve the lives of millions of patients worldwide. Frequently asked questions. Where did the Celtic Biotech logo come from? This is right from their website in the frequently asked questions section. All right, so their logo, as I put there on the screen, it originates from the story of Asclepius, who was revered by the ancient Greeks as a god of healing and whose cult involved the use of snakes. The Celts also, let's just rehash that. Where does this idea of a snake around a staff come from? From a cult that involved the use of snakes. The entire medical profession uses a symbol from a cult that uses the snakes. The Celts also revered the snake, traditionally associated with healing, regeneration, and rebirth. Who doesn't? Okay, imagine the irony. Who doesn't see snakes as healing, rebirthing, and regenerating life? Have you ever looked at a snake and went, oh, you remind me of something that heals? This is what medicine wants you to think. The serpent, they say, represents the cyclic nature of life due to the annual shedding of its skin. Oh, don't forget the irony also of this new term with the COVID-19 vaccines called shedding. Shedding is a term reference for what snakes do every year when they shed their skin. I continue. It's a symbol of rebirth, shedding its old skin and reemerging in the spring from the winter's hibernation, seemingly immortal. Who else is using venom therapeutics? Employing venoms as therapeutics is not new and is fast growing as pharma biotech companies push to grow innovative pipelines and patients seek more natural therapies. A large number of well-known pharmaceutical companies are developing novel therapies derived from snake venoms and their reptiles. A couple things about this statement. It's not a few. Let's read it again slowly. A large number of well-known pharmaceutical companies, drug companies, a large number of drug companies that are well-known are developing novel therapies derived from snake venoms and other reptiles. In China, for example, they state a pain-killing drug called Qitongning has been on sale since 1978. It contains cobra toxin from cobra venom as its primary ingredient. You guys remember that cobra toxin was the spike protein of COVID, and where did they say that came from? China. Does it shock you to know that since 1978, almost 50 years ago, there's been a drug made from cobra toxin as its primary ingredient? They continue. I'm sure it's ironic and coincidental. Several companies are working with scorpion toxins, mainly in the anti-cancer field. Yeah, who thought? So ridiculous. All right, so here is the drug that contains the cobra venom in it, called Qitongning. Here it's Taotongning capsules. All right, they continue at Celtic Biotech. This is the drugs. We're diving into the drugs they're using to make to try to treat people with venoms. Botox, botulinum toxin, a bacteria neurotoxin venom, is a most toxic biological product and is being developed for a number of applications by Allergen, which is a company now called AbbVie, and Elon, which is now called Perrigo, but has been increasingly popular for cosmetic applications. Anybody who knows anybody doing Botox, I just want to read what it says as the descriptor of this bacteria venom. Reread it. Botox is a most toxic biological product. Did you know that? A number of companies are using venom components. They report. Let's dive into some of these. Abbott Laboratories acquired Knoll Pharmaceuticals from 3M, who also makes tape, who are developing a drug called Ancrod. Ancrod is a drug which is formulated from the venom of the Malayan pit viper to be administered following a stroke. This is what Ancrod's venom from a Malayan pit viper looks like. It's in a white and blue capsule as a powder. Did you know that venom comes in a capsule? Well, it does, called Ancrod. Amylin Pharmaceuticals developed a peptide called Exendin 4 from the saliva of the Gila monster, poisonous lizard that promotes the release of insulin. It was subsequently licensed to Eli Lilly. This drug, this protein from the Gila monster venom called Exendin 4, is actually what's in Ozempic and Wegovy. So what does that venom look like? Oh, it comes in a shot that you give yourself every day, a subcutaneous shot. Once a week injection. That's what it looks like. This Exendin 4 venom protein has a generic drug name called semaglutide that you see on the screen. The brand name in this case is Wegovy, the picture of the drug in the image. Also, the same drug called semaglutide, which is the generic name of the venom called Exendin 4, is also packaged by the same drug company called Novo Nordisk as Ozempic that you see on the screen. Ozempic and Wegovy are the same venom of the Gila monster. They come in a syringe and you inject yourself every week with it. It's a liquid. Bristol Myers Squibb developed captopril from the venom of the adder Bothrops as an inhibitor of angiotensin converting enzyme, or as you've known it. Most people know that if someone's diagnosed with a high blood pressure, they'll be put on a drug commonly called an ACE inhibitor. That's what this is, to reverse high blood pressure. Captopril was the first ever ACE inhibitor, and every drug now that ends with the abbreviation pril, lisinopril, captopril, enalapril, those are our drugs made from the venom of the viper in Brazil, a snake called the Jaracus viper. And this is how venom comes in a pill for high blood pressure. Captopril comes in little bitty pills. This is dried snake venom. This is lisinopril. It comes in dry pills. You're just swallowing snake venom. British biotech, now merged with Vernalis, began the development of Marimestat, a metalloprotease inhibitor from snakes for cancer applications. Cognetics Utah developed cone snail venom, anticholinergic proteins called peptides for stroke therapy. Oh my goodness, what does that look like? Okay, so cone snail venom looks like that. It's called Prialt, and it comes in a clear liquid that they inject inside of you in hospitals. Core Therapeutics and Sharing Plow Corpco market integralin, known generically as eptifibatide. Eptifibatide, how ridiculous, is based on a protein called disintegrin taken from the pygmy rattlesnake. Well, what does that look like? It looks like this. So when I said there's snake venom making everybody sick around the world, people thought that I was talking about milking snakes. That's not what I'm talking about. They can make snake venom into pills, powders, liquids, you name it. They can put it into plasmids. They can do whatever they want with it. All right, so they come in all kinds of forms and shapes. You know, if I told you vitamin C is what they were putting in the water to make you well, people would be like, what? Yeah, vitamin C is not only found in oranges, it's also found as powders. It's also found in juices that are frozen in concentrated form in grocery stores. Vitamin C also comes in tablets. Vitamin C comes in gels. Just because I said it's vitamin C doesn't mean I'm saying they're squeezing oranges over water treatment plants. That's not the case. Science has figured out how to actually change the structure of almost anything on Earth and deliver it to you. This is an example of pygmy rattlesnake venom in a liquid that looks like water. Elon Pharmaceuticals purchased Nurex to acquire rights to a drug called ziconotide, SNX-111, ziconotide, a pain-killing peptide from cone snail venoms. What does it look like? It looks like this, a clear liquid, ziconotide. Merck makes a heart drug called Aggrastat, which is also based on disintegrin. This non-peptide agent is taken from the African saw-scaled viper snake. What does Merck's venom look like, called Aggrastat? It looks like a clear liquid in a jar you would use with a syringe. No nurse or medical doctor who grabs this to inject it into somebody would ever know that that was venom. Why would they even think it was venom? Why would they think Merck was making a drug, a heart drug, from a snake? They wouldn't. What about Pentapharm from Switzerland? They market two venom-derived products called defibrase and hemacoagulase for blood clotting, similar to Ancrod from Abbott Labs. What does it look like? It looks like this. It comes in pills and in liquid form. There's a whole bunch of them. Receptopharm USA developed cobra venom for the treatment of HIV and multiple sclerosis. Who developed it? This guy. This cobra venom for the treatment of HIV and multiple sclerosis was developed by this guy. His name's Dr. Paul F. Reed. He is a world-renowned expert in the therapeutic use of snake venom neurotoxins. He was formerly the manager of Receptopharm, a Florida-based company specializing in therapeutic venom technologies. This is Receptopharm, king cobra venom, HIV, multiple sclerosis. Paul F. Reed, what did he get paid to do from 1993 to 1996? Read the blue area. Dr. Reed was employed by the United States Medical Research Institute for Infectious Diseases at Fort Detrick, Maryland, under a grant from the National Research Council in Washington, D.C. from 1993 to 1996. You'll see those years right before the blue highlight. Under the grant, he was responsible for this is 30 years ago, by the way, just for context. Under the grant, he was responsible 30 years ago for the expression and purification of a variety of neuroactive components from snake venom to be made in bacteria and yeast systems and then purified as a material with expansion to large scale vaccine production, not small scale vaccine production. He was being asked to make snake venom, neurotoxins, grow them in bacteria and yeast systems so that we can have a whole bunch of venom for large scale vaccine production. This is his patent that he received in 2010. You can see the date, July 20th, 2010 is when it was awarded at the right, top right, by my little face on the window. Above that, you will see the patent grant is currently assigned to Receptopharm and Paul F. Reed. Oh, first highlighted sentence. Detoxified cobra venom and its constituent neurotoxins have been reported to have potent antiviral activity. Did you know that king cobra venom, if you just got bit by a cobra, if you had the flu, would help you with the flu? So ridiculous. It also has the potential application to act as a method to protect individuals from contagious infectious agents and as a substitute for antiviral vaccines right now. Did you know all the vaccines on the CDC schedule? You could just do away with all of those because king cobra venom, this venom, king cobra venom vaccine is a substitute for all of them. You don't need different antiviral vaccines. You just need king cobra venom injected inside of you. Read this very first summary of why they created it. It's a principal subject of the invention, king cobra venom vaccine, to provide a method for preventing and treating infectious diseases such as colds and flus, bacteria and parasite infections, and the like. Therefore, we suppose, the inventors, that the product, their king cobra vaccine, could be employed within the scope of an infection control and prevention strategy such as is currently adopted for the flu season in elderly, immune suppressed, and infant populations. We're stopping right there. Paul F. Reed and his other cohorts here are stating that this king cobra vaccine they just patented could be adopted as a substitute to help all people during every flu season to beat the flu. And they are highlighting the people they should give it to. The elderly should be injected with king cobra venom each flu season. Immune suppressed persons should be given king cobra venom injections each flu season. And infants should be injected with king cobra venom every year to prevent the flu. I don't know what that makes you think, but I'll tell you the first thing I think. This guy must not have children. No parent in their own right would ever want their child injected with king cobra venom. I don't care what the medical doctor or scientists who made it lied to you about or said or suggested. All right, let's continue. In addition, they could be employed, these king cobra venom vaccines, in a therapeutic role in viral infections or in association with standard treatments for bacteria and parasite infections. And listen to what they say. The king cobra venom could actually affect a more rapid recovery. Let's continue. In viral infections such as the flu, the composition, the king cobra vaccine, would provide advantages over vaccine-based strategies in that it doesn't have to be virus or subtype specific, and it would be readily accessible during outbreaks and pandemics. All right, we're going to stay there. His king cobra vaccine that was given a patent for in 2010, 10 years before the pandemic, he is saying in his patent that this king cobra vaccine has an advantage over all viral vaccines, and it would be readily accessible during outbreaks and pandemics. All right, so in the perspective of COVID, did the COVID-19 vaccines, were they made more readily accessible than any other vaccine in history? Do you remember Operation Warp Speed? There was an outbreak of this weird virus coming out of China. Operation Warp Speed, signed by Donald Trump, actually, for the first time in history, makes a vaccine so readily accessible within 9 months, it's ready to cure the whole world. Okay. 2010, they're telling you how they could do it. He's telling you it's readily accessible during outbreaks and pandemics, 10 years before the pandemic. The reason why he's saying this has advantages over all other viral vaccines is because it says in this last sentence I highlighted, it does not have, the king cobra venom vaccine does not have to be virus or subtype specific. Have you guys heard and remember hearing this over and over and over that as there were new variants of COVID from Alpha, Delta, Gamma, Mu, Omicron, you would hear that there needed to be an updated booster vaccine developed. They're telling you here that viruses mutate to new variants, and that in fact, you all should know this, there are multiple versions or variants of the flu virus, and this is why there's a new flu vaccine made every year. So they're telling you the advantage with king cobra venom injecting that into humans is it's such a powerful antiviral drug. It would be so easy to treat everybody in the world with one thing and one thing only for any virus outbreak ever, HIV included. I just showed you that in his the article a second ago, that king cobra venom was made into a treatment for HIV and for multiple sclerosis. They're telling you king cobra venom outperforms all antiviral vaccines and drugs for any viral outbreak because it treats all viruses. It's that good. It's a silver bullet. Here is the next article we want to review. I've already showed this to audiences before, so I'm going to go through it really quickly. This was done at the Red Pill Expo for Gio Griffin and his audiences who had not seen it. It's from the year 2017. You'll see that year top left. Antiviral activity of animal venom peptides. Antiviral activity of animal venom peptides and related compounds. Last sentence. This review provides a panorama of peptides described from animal venoms that present antiviral activity, thereby reinforcing them as important tools for the development of new therapeutic drugs. We're looking at the blue area. Despite the harmful action mechanism of animal venoms, most of them have components holding potential medicinal therapeutics and properties to cure diseases. Okay, really? Underneath the scorpion venom section of this article, with the rapid increase in the number of characterized scorpion venom compounds, many new drug candidates have been identified as potential medicines to deal with emerging medical global threats. This is 2017, people. 3 years later was an emerging medical global threat. And in this article, they're telling you there's a rapid increase in the number of scorpion venom compounds and many new drugs being made from them that have been identified as potential medicines, venoms from scorpions to treat emerging medical global threats. Did you know if everybody just had their own scorpion in their house in a little cage and there was a viral outbreak, global emerging threat, you could just inject yourself with scorpion venom? As ridiculous as medical doctors have made it seem when we were promoting zinc supplements and vitamin C supplements for COVID, this seems dumb assery. Snake venoms section of this paper. The author suggests that this activity of snake venoms may be related to the presence of some snake venom molecules that are homologous or identical to HIV-1's spike protein. Did y'all know that HIV-1 had a spike protein on it called a glycoprotein and that it was identical to snake venom? Oh my God. That means 40 years ago, when HIV was first introduced into the world, that means there was already a virus, supposedly, engineered most likely, to have venom proteins on it to make people sick. Oh my God. And who was in charge of this HIV pandemic and treatment protocol? Anthony Fauci. Once again, here's the conclusions of this antiviral properties of animal venom peptides study. Why it is they are studying so much venoms around the world to be used as antiviral drugs. I have to read this to you so you wrap your head around why it is they're all working behind closed doors in labs around the world called bioweapons labs. Here we go. Conclusions. As a consequence of the scarcity of new families of antiviral drugs, did you know that there was a scarcity of antiviral drugs? Have you seen the list of antiviral vaccines from the CDC alone? Pharmaceutical companies have strengthened their efforts to increase developments of known current drugs, resulting in little or even no improvement to the existing therapies. So they're telling you right now in the market are a whole bunch of antiviral drugs and they ain't working and they're not good enough. So drug companies have been investing a lot of time and efforts to study the drugs they've had in the past to come up with new drugs, and those aren't working either. At the same time, the growing demand, though, from stockholders or stakeholders in the above statement from this blue one, at the same time as stockholders of these drug companies are demanding new drugs and natural therapeutic products, is a matter of extreme necessity to face the emergency of multi-resistant viral pathogen. This is a continuation of the same paragraph. Preventative and curative measures should always be in the hands of health authorities to ensure control of epidemics, such as the recent Ebola virus in Africa or arboviruses, particularly in Brazil, represented by the dengue, chikungunya, and Zika viruses, or worldwide pandemics such as influenza and HIV. Remember, this paper's from 2017. The last concluding statement is the most disturbing of them all. Therefore, prospection, which means to look for, screening, and all other phases of biological activity, validation, clinical development of animal venom peptides represents an essential scientific investment for protecting and perpetuating humankind. I don't know how that makes you feel. I know how it makes me feel. How many of you believe in your heart of hearts that it is essential that we invest a lot of money into developing venom injections, venom vaccines, venom drugs, and unless we do, the entire human race's existence could be at stake. Since when does life require deadly poisons? These are examples of the various, inside the same research study, these are examples of the venoms they're looking for to protect humankind. Seriously, you'll see table 1, top left, right underneath table 1 is the word scorpion. Underneath scorpion will be the list of various scorpions by name known to science that they have isolated the venom from. If you look at the middle column titled virus, it actually lays out for you what they've already patented scorpion venoms to treat and are already in vaccines and drug production. At the bottom of the screen, you will see each of the abbreviated viruses names defined at the bottom. So as you look at the virus category column, you'll see MEV, that stands for measles virus, and you find that at the bottom of the screen. SARS-CoV is SARS-CoV-1, from 2005. So did you know, why are we looking? This is a 2017 article. Anthony Fauci already funded studies by the NIH in 2005, and they found that hydroxychloroquine was a 100% cure for SARS-CoV-1. I would like to know why in 2017, in this paper, why are they publishing that a scorpion's venom can also be a cure for SARS-CoV-1? We already found hydroxychloroquine was a cure. Why are we looking for a venom to do it from a scorpion? Now let's look at the third. Third is H5N1. That's the bird flu. Did you know that they have scorpion venom vaccines for H5N1? Bird flu. HBV is hepatitis B virus. HIV is HIV. HCV is hepatitis C virus. HSV1 is herpes simplex virus. Okay, herpes simplex virus causes fever, blisters, and cold sores. Could you imagine you looking at somebody with a cold sore and you going, oh my God, if we just had a scorpion to sting your face, that would make the fever, blister, and cold sore go away. So dumb. Anyway, those are examples. Now, they also have listed here frog venoms. You know that there's poison dart frogs all around the world. That's deadly toxic venom. They are taking that poison dart frog venom from various poisonous frogs from around the world, and they're turning that poisonous venom into antiviral vaccines. And you will see here the frogs, the species of the frogs names in the second column, and then the viruses the frog venoms treat. Herpes simplex virus, herpes simplex 2 virus, HIV, HIV. These are the same shingles viruses and cold sore viruses. So dumb. Here we got insects. They're now taking venom from insects and they're treating people with it. You see bee venom on there and other types of insects. They're treating herpes simplex virus, HIVs with, let's continue, ophidians. Ophidians, don't let that confuse you. Ophidians is a fancy Latin word for snakes. So here's the different snakes. So you'll see the second ophidian or snake is called the Bothrops jiraca viper. This is the same viper out of Brazil that they turn its venom into lisinopril and captopril for high blood pressure. Look at what they say it's now patented to treat, the dengue virus. So funny to me. Then you'll see marine sponges at the bottom. That's not the only marine sponges out of the ocean that have venom in them. So they've got here a list of just snakes that can treat HIV and dengue virus and yellow fever virus. Now, also the marine sponges, every single one of them you're about to see in this list are all listed to treat HIV. Did you know that 40 years ago, when Anthony Fauci proposed a new drug to treat all HIV patients called AZT, did you know AZT was made from this marine sponge's venom? Did you know AZT was only marine sponge venom? Did you know that AZT's marine sponge venom is published to have every known side effect that is described as an AIDS symptom? So while they were popping a pill for AZT, as their bodies were dying with every what looked like symptom of AIDS, as described by every freaking medical journal on earth, that was actually a published side effect of the marine sponge venom they were swallowing or injecting in their body. And in case you thought I was joking, and just so y'all know, everybody out there who thought their loved one died from AIDS, who, if they were being treated with AZT, they didn't die from AIDS. They died from marine sponge venom poisoning, which kills you. And here's an article from 2015. A sea sponge could save your life. A large, shallow water sponge found in the Caribbean has been discovered to generate compounds used in AZT, which is used to fight AIDS. Shipworms, sponges, and snail venoms. This is from ACS Chemistry for Life online journal. Shipworms, sponges, and snail venoms, the search for marine medicine. And they dive into various venoms here. Cone snail venoms. Cone snails use insulin to induce very low blood sugar, the very last statement at the bottom. They're going to dive into what they do. Anyway, I'm not going to read all that. The U.S. Department of Justice, they published this article in 2012. Cone snail venoms are potential weapons from the sea. You'll see the date, bottom left, date published, 2012. You'll also see, they wrote here, cone snails are predatory marine animals that kill their prey with powerful venom. A number of species from the same article, a number of species of cone snails, such as Conus geographus, are deadly to humans. The most lethal effect of cone snail venoms to humans is muscle paralysis of the diaphragm, causing respiratory arrest. Sounds like COVID, doesn't it? Concerns in the homeland security field exist that certain cone snail venoms called conotoxins could be weaponized and used as an aerosol. The cone snail venoms that the U.S. Department of Justice in 2012 says is at risk of being used by terrorists include specifically alpha conotoxins, kappa conotoxins, and one they call O-conotoxins. Do you know what O in the Greek alphabet stands for? The A in the first one they list is alpha. K stands for kappa. Do you know what O-conotoxin stands for in the Greek alphabet? Here's alpha. Here's the A in alpha. This is the Greek alphabet. A stands for alpha. K stands for kappa. Do you know what an O-conotoxin stands for? Are you shocked? O in the Greek alphabet is not for omega. It's for the word omicron. All right, is the picture coming together yet for you? World Economic Forum says they're committed to improving the state of the world. In 2015, they put this statement and published this article for the whole world. It's still on the internet. They're committed to improving the state of the world. Check out what they say is now, they believe, something that could improve the state of the world. September 11th, 2015, they published this article. How can killer snails improve the state of the world? What killer snails are they talking about? The venom of conotoxin snails, or killer snails as I lovingly refer to them, allows these slow-moving predators to feed on an agile prey by shutting down a fish's normal functions, preventing them from escaping. Okay, how in the world is this snail and its venom going to help improve the state of the world? Look, that's the question at the top of the article. I mean, on this page, you can see it. So disgusting. Now, what's important about this? 2012, the U.S. Department of Justice is saying they're worried about conotoxins venoms from cone snails being used as a terrorist weapon. 3 years later, in 2015, the World Economic Forum is publishing an article titled How Killer Snails Can Help Improve the State of the World. We all know the World Economic Forum has actually made claims that there's too many people on the planet and we need to slowly depopulate it, which means to slowly kill them off. All right, so this article is Carlo Brogna's study from Italy. It's titled Toxin-like Peptides in the Blood, Urine, and Feces of All COVID-19 Patients. This was published in 2021. You can see bottom left of the screen. In this article, they discovered 36 different animal venoms were in all COVID-19 patients, making them sick. Let's read the first sentence of their results of the conclusions. Toxin-like peptides almost identical to toxic components of venoms from animals like conotoxins were identified in samples from COVID-19 patients, but not in regular people not sick with COVID. So in this article, or this research paper, they have this chart. It's called Table 1, and it shows you all the venoms found in COVID-19 patients and the animals they were most likely identified from. At the far right of the screen, right underneath the image of me in the little window, you'll see Malayan crate snake, banded crate snake, Uruguayan coral snake, Chinese cobra, inland taipan, coastal taipan, eastern brown snake, Maclay's water moccasin, Jiraca viper out of Brazil. That's the same one that they use to make ACE inhibitor drugs, ocellated soft-scaled viper snake, Chinese water moccasin snake, king cobra venom. These are all found in COVID-19 patients. We'll continue there. When you get to the pink one, that's the crown of thorns starfish venom they found in all COVID patients. The blue area is all the conotoxins from cone snails that were found in COVID-19 patients starting in 2020 during COVID. You'll see California cone snail, and it keeps on going. Marble cone snail. There's actually a total of 15 different cone snail venoms found in COVID-19 patients. And what did the U.S. Department of Justice show you? What did I show you cone snail venoms do in the human body? They told you. The most lethal effect, I'm reading the last highlighted red underlined sentence. The most lethal effect of conotoxins to humans is muscle paralysis of the diaphragm causing respiratory arrest. If you look at the sentence above highlighted, it says a number of species of cone snails, such as Conos graphis, are deadly to humans. Let's go back to Carlo Brogna's study, shall we? Did they find any Conos geographis cone snail venoms in COVID-19 patients? From the bottom of the graph you see right now, read 3 up from the bottom in the blue area. You will see the words next to the number 6491. Conos geographis. How did Conos geographis, which its venom is known to be deadly to humans per the United States Department of Justice, how did it end up in every COVID-19 patient's body? I find this crazy. Conotoxins, potential weapons from the sea, remember? Conos geographis. They say right here, they're worried that Homeland Security worries exist that conotoxins could be weaponized and used as an aerosol. And there it is right there on the screen. Now I want to show you what conotoxins look like and where it's manufactured. Conotoxins are made in China. This is actually madeinchina.com. If you type in made-in-china.com and type the word conotoxins in their search engine, like you can see on the screen that I did. See, I typed in conotoxins at the top of the screen and hit enter. Here's an example of what conotoxin powder looks like. So this is cone snail venom from a snail in the ocean turned into powder. Now, at the beginning of this presentation, I showed you an image of a whole bunch of powdered looking stuff being shipped around the world. This is directly from this cone snail venom's manufacturer's website. They show This is what their cone snail venom production looks like in the factory, right underneath the image of me on the screen. You'll see these huge vats, huge, big, huge bins used to manufacture and house all the venom proteins they're making from cone snail venoms. When they're done with their cone snail venom, it's a dried white powder, and they put it in these huge containers on their website. Look at what it looks like when it ships from the factory. Well, do you think those powders of cone snail venoms could be dumped into water supplies around the world? Could it be put in planes and aerosolized from crop dusters and in chemtrails? Yes. Could it be formed into drugs in the form of pills, powders? Yes, we already know that. There's a drug already made called ziconotide or Prialt. I already showed you that's used in hospitals, and it comes in a clear liquid form. You just inject it in people for pain. This is the extent at which cone snail venoms alone are being produced, and this is one factory out of hundreds around the world manufacturing this stuff. There's a reason in 2012 the United States Department of Justice said, I'm worried about cone snail venoms being used as a terrorist weapon around the world. Here on the same website's same product page, it writes, conopeptides are used in cosmetics and are biologically simulated conotoxins that have been genetically sequenced and artificially biomimetic synthetic synthesis preserves their biological activity. It preserves their toxic venom activity and efficacy while reducing most of the toxicity. Now, I want to say something here. It doesn't say it removed all of its toxicity. It said it reduced most of its toxicity. Well, what did I just show you? It does. It causes respiratory paralysis in humans. Imagine someone using a cosmetic that has cone snail venom in it that paralyzes the diaphragm, and that person also happens to struggle with asthma. What if they have congestive heart failure? Well, madeinchina.com doesn't only sell and supply synthetically made cone snail venoms for the cosmetic industry. They also make snake venom for the cosmetic industry. Here's one example. If you type in snake venom peptide in the search engine on made-in-china.com, you'll see thousands of suppliers making white powder snake venom to be added to cosmetics. This is just an example. They also show you what it looks like in the factory, what their machinery looks like to manufacture this massive amount of snake venom peptides for the cosmetic industry. Does this look like a small operation to you? Look at the image. Did you know that they're making snake venom in these huge factories all around the world? I didn't. Not until the last 2 years. Underneath snake venom tripeptide on made-in-china.com, they tell you it comes in a white powder form in a kilogram dosage. Minimum order quantity is 1 kilogram. That's 2.2 pounds. The shelf life is 2 years. And it says this product should be sealed and shaded in a dry, cool place. At the bottom, you'll see what it says. It says snake venom tripeptides. If you keep reading in the second sentence, or actually the first sentence, let's just read that together. Snake venom tripeptide acts on postsynaptic membrane and is a reversible antagonist of the muscle nicotine receptors. Remember, nicotine is the cure. If you look up and continue to research this, look at this. This is dried white powder. I'm going to read it out loud. China Beauty Salon freeze-dried powder for anti-wrinkle cream, lyophilized powder, which means it's dried white powder that can be dissolved in water, diluted in water. They don't tell you what it's made from, but I'm about to show you. It's just called, if you want to order this stuff to add to your cosmetics as an anti-wrinkle cream, if you're developing an anti-wrinkle cream for humans around the world and you want to sell it, you can just buy this crap and put it in there. Do you know what it is? It's scorpion venom. The main ingredient is scorpion toxin. Here's another one from madeinchina.com, another cosmetic. Spider Aqua Eye Booster. Factory price, higher quality, PDRN Spider Aqua Eye Booster Skin Booster Injection. A dermal filler. So around your eyes, you can inject yourself with what looks like Spider-Man's something. The packaging looks like some cartoon thing to me, but like Spider-Man. But what it really is this, which I was shocked by. Its use, look at the star, its application use for this injection is for intense hydration, anti-wrinkle effect, improvement of tension, regeneration, skin thickening, brightening your skin, and color equalization of your skin. What is the ingredients? Spider polypeptides. Peptides are small proteins from various spiders. Poly means multiple, peptide means protein. So this is multiple spider venom proteins to inject in your face. Now, I already showed earlier at the very beginning of this presentation, I showed this chart. You can't really see it most likely on your screen, so I'm going to chop it into 4 different sections so you can zoom into it to see it more clearly. This is right out of a research study, by the way, and I couldn't believe it when I found this. The study this comes from is called Applications of Venom Biodiversity in Agriculture. I mean, how many of you knew that they were using venom to grow crops? All right, let's zoom into this, what looks like a target on a dartboard. Look in the middle on the red. We're going to look at the red sections. The red balls read snake, wasp, scorpion, bee, spider. So these are venoms from the spider, wasp, scorpions, bees, and snakes. Now, these are their venoms. The blue balls represent names of individuals, drug companies, and insecticide companies, and individuals and universities that own the patents on the venoms in red. The researchers of this study wanted to see if they could connect all the actual dots to who owns these venom patents, what companies own them, and what plants or crops those venoms are being used in that are owned by all the ones in blue. The green balls you can see are the crops that have venom in their seeds that have been genetically engineered to grow venom in the plant from the venomous creatures in red. Mad scientists around the world have taken seeds of all the green plants on the screen that you're about to look at, that we're going to highlight. For every produce crop I'm about to read off to you that you're going to look at on the screen, mad scientists around the world have now figured out how to make, through genetic modification, seeds of all the crops in green to make venom in the plant from the 5 venomous creatures in the middle of the screen. So starting at the bottom left of the screen, venom is now being used to make melons. Now you have to understand, they write in this article I'm going to show you that when they make these seeds have venom inside of the seed, as the seed is planted in the soil, and the seed now sprouts a stem and then a trunk and then leaves and then the produce, they state the venom is in the entire root system. The venom is being made in the stem of the plant, the trunk of the plant, the leaves of the plant, and inside the produce and fruit of the plant. Did you know you were eating venom inside of all these plants? They have melons. They've engineered now melons with venom in them, cabbage with venom in it, soybeans with venom in it, lettuces with venom in it, garden beans with venom in it, celery with venoms in it, rice with venoms in it, and stevia with venom in it. Did you know that the stevia you're drinking in your sweeteners has venom in it? If it's not organic, you have no idea if it has venom inside of it or not. Interesting thing above, look at rice. I was just personally shocked to see my beloved Louisiana State University is a patent owner to rice seeds, manufacturing rice plants loaded with venoms. They're not the only university. I was just shocked to see it. All right, let's continue around the horn. What other produce is being made by the individuals and organizations in blue from the venoms in red? They now have lettuces made with venom, potatoes laced with venoms, and look how many. Wheats made with venom, cotton venom, pepper venom, tomatoes with venom inside, beans with venoms inside. A couple of the, I want you to look at the tomato, bottom right. Look at the company to the very left of it in blue that owns patents to these red venoms on the screen to make produce. Bayer Aspirin, who also owns Monsanto. Oh my goodness, look at this. I did not recognize this. But look at potato and bring your eyes down from the lines of potatoes. Oh my God, I'd have never seen this. Look at the word Frito-Lay. Frito-Lay owns patents on potatoes that are engineered from making potato chips from Venom. Holy crap. I love potato chips. Now I'm pissed. All right. Dow, right next to Frito-Lay is Dow, D-O-W, Agrosciences. They own these patents also. There's tons. Oh my God, I cannot believe I did not see that. Okay, let's keep going. I could stay there forever. Let's go around the horn, continuing green. Corn. Well, let's see if corn is also with Frito-Lay. Oh my God. Okay, so beans, corn, pea, watermelons, radishes, squash, and cucumbers are all plants right now being engineered to grow venom inside of them from the 5 venom of creatures in the middle of the screen. If you get up close to the B, look at the B red venom uh, ball. You'll see California Cooperative, and right next to that, University of Arkansas in the United States owns that. Also, right next to the venom and underneath the California Cooperative, look who owns also patents on these venom seeds engineered to make venom in the plant. Vanguard. Huh. What's Vanguard doing investing money on patents? I just find this absurd. I hope you do too. Now we're going to continue around the horde. Cucumbers are made with venom seeds. Tobacco now is laced with venoms. Sweet corn, canola, sunflower, and melons. We're back at melons. All right, so we're gonna come off of this and we're gonna go back into this study. The highlights of the study include scorpion, wasp, and snake venom are being increasingly reported in patents. Giant agricultural biotech companies like Monsanto are the main assignees of these patents. Not only do they own glyphosate, they own all these seeds made from venoms, to include venoms, to be made inside the plant. Agriculture, environment, and society, they say, are benefiting from this use of venom, biodiversity, and biotechnology. Really? Did you know that venom is in your Frito-Lay potato chips? Did you know that venom's in your melons you're eating, your watermelons? Did you know it's in your cucumbers? Did you know that? And how in the world can they claim that society are benefiting from this use of venom when we didn't even know it was in there? Oh, and I'd like to ask you, how come you didn't know this? Look right above this red highlighted sentence, by the way. Commodities like soybean, corn, cotton, rice, and wheat are the leading in new crop varieties being made from venoms. This group of scientists said we searched for patents registered worldwide using the keywords animal species and venom associated with the cooperative patent classification subclasses based on Google patents by November 2020. This is before 2020, leading up to 2020. The results indicate an increasing frequency of patents related to animal venoms. The benefits of using natural venoms in insect-resistant plant varieties and biopesticides are pertinent, they say, to agriculture, the environment, and human health. Okay. Can I read that to you again? Because it's effing crazy. The benefits of using natural venoms in insect-resistant plant varieties and biopesticides are pertinent to agriculture, the environment, and human health. Let's shorten that a little bit. The benefits of using natural venoms are pertinent to human health. Really? I didn't know that. I thought my mom and grandma told me that vitamin C, rest, and laughter were essential and pertinent to human health. I didn't realize my mom and grandma never told me. I've never heard an old wives' tale that natural venoms are pertinent to human health. This is what science wants you to believe. Let's keep reading. In nature, venom serves species to attack enemies, prey, and for self-defense. That's what animals that make venom do. They use venom to either kill their prey or defend themselves. Scorpions, snakes, and spiders, they say, are among the venomous animal species whose purified venom poisons are widely used, especially for medical purposes and for the development of antibodies dedicated to the treatment of bites. Remember monoclonal antibodies used for COVID, cured 100% of all COVID patients? Those are monoclonal antibodies used to treat snake bites and COVID because they're both venom. They continue in the study. Such features have been explored for developing new biocompounds with application in several areas, such as pharmaceuticals and agriculture. It is worth noting that the use of selected animal species venoms starts to grow in the year 2000. The high increase rate of venoms being used in patents for seeds of plants from the year 2002 to 2004 grew so fast. The number went from 192 patents in those 2 years to 1,136 known venom patents for seeds, for crops. That's a 490% increase in 2 years. From 2010 to 2011, another increase of 160% from 546 to 1,427 was seen. Patents grown. The constant increase in applications of venom in inventions related to preservation of bodies of humans or animals or plants or parts thereof, biocides as disinfectants, as pesticides or herbicides, or in pest repellents or attractants, or to produce plant growth regulators from 2004 on is another point to be highlighted. And here they show you the highlight. In green, they show you the growth of the patents from 1980 till 2010 only, what has been the skyrocketing growth of patents using venoms in agriculture to make crops laced with venoms. Here's an example of a company called Valent and what their named brand insecticide is called. It's actually called Venom insecticide. How ingenious. They tell you what it's used for in this at the top of the screen. They tell you this Venom insecticide is used with greens, leafy greens, turnip greens, leafy vegetables, and onions, greens, nectarines, tuberous, corn vegetables, and watercress. That's what this Venom insecticide is for. Oh my God, seriously. Also for cotton, cucurbits, whatever that is, strawberries. Oh, everything but strawberries. They can't use it on strawberries, but they can use it on kiwi. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here's a Michigan State University article, scorpion venom. It's bad for bugs, but it's good for pesticides. Dong's research is funded in part by the National Institute of Health. Oh, there's the NIH again, involved in venom research for our food. Here's an article. In Cosmetics Connect is the company, or is the online journal, May 28, 2021, titled Venomous Skincare, Bioidentical Collagen, and CBD. And this is what they write. Look at the top. Venom Tech Platforms, Venom-derived active ingredients. Venom-derived ingredients are not new to the beauty and personal care industry. This is 2021. This is this is a year before my Watch the Water documentary. Venom-derived ingredients are not new to the beauty and personal care industry, but Venom Tech, a company, claims its latest range of ingredients is bringing a new twist to this space. Traditionally, venom-based ingredients have been focused on the anti-aging and anti-wrinkle areas of skincare, but the company's latest range of venom-based actives is helping to bring new claims to this space, including soothing your hair, hair growth, controlling of oily or dry skin, and antibacterial and toning. On their article, they write, Venom Tech's portfolio of ingredients for cosmetics includes Li-Pep-5, which is an ingredient that's biologically active. That means it's identical and inspired by the lionfish's venom and developed to mimic its ability to bind zinc and other metal ions. So it robs the body of zinc. Scorp Soothe is another derived ingredient from Venom Tech from bark scorpions found throughout the Americas, a species that has developed resilience and inhibitory defense to protect themselves from the anti-inflammatory effect of their own venom. Okay, so inside the scorpion, they're saying that scorpions have inside of them a substance that keeps the scorpion from dying from its own venom, and they call it Scorp Soothe. Scorp Soothe replicated the effect of these soothing properties to bring a 4-amino acid peptide that also incorporates PLA2 enzyme activity to bring soothing and protective properties to a range of skincare products. Do y'all remember that the University of Arizona said that the substance that killed all the people in COVID-19 hospitalized patients, when they looked at all their blood, they said there was only one thing that was 20 times the amount ever seen in a human that was responsible for the death of COVID patients. And they said it was this enzyme, PLA2, which is what led them to publish the paper, University of Arizona, like venom coursing through the body. This is the scorpion, and it's PLA2 venom inside its body. Finally, they say there's a ViPep 5. is an ingredient from Venom Tech that's derived from the venom of the carpet viper snake, which contains proteins to give them additional protection. 5-PEP5 mimics the defensive peptide mechanism to reduce free zinc by 87%. Do y'all remember that COVID-19 was the virus was destroying zinc levels in the human body? So Zev Zelenko, Dr. Ben Marble, and I and others were talking about zinc being needed to preserve the life of people. This ingredient, ViPep5, is now in cosmetics and it destroys zinc, which will cause exact same symptoms as COVID. According to clinical trials, tackling the problem of environmental pollution that can contribute to premature aging of the skin. And this is the viper that Venom peptide comes from that's now in your cosmetics that robs the body of zinc. You might want to make sure you're supplementing zinc. Here's the company Venom Tech that article is referencing, who's providing venoms to cosmetic manufacturers. So let's dive in. What does Venom Tech do? Look at the top article. Look at the top of the screen. They fast track your research effectively and successfully with our targeted discovery arrays. Look at what they're making venom for: drug discovery, cosmetics, and crop protection. I said at the beginning of this, there's three main categories. Venom Tech makes the venom for all three: drug discovery, cosmetics, and crop protection. Any way possible to get venom inside of you, they are doing. All right. So let's keep good diving in here, Venom Tech. Let's learn more from Venom Tech. You ready? They're out of the UK, by the way. They have a frequently asked question section. Why are venoms useful in cosmetics? Just like in drug discovery, good active ingredients in cosmetics act on relevant targets. Venoms can be made safe for cosmetic use by only selecting the key active venom protein and not using the parts involved in the toxic pathways. This is the essence of our Venom Select service. Let's keep going. How soluble, meaning how well do they dilute in water? Soluble means literally, remember Kool-Aid packets when you were little and you could pour it into water and mix it and it just disappears into the water, the powder? That's what these venoms do. How soluble are venoms? Whole venoms are soluble up to approximately 300 milligrams per milliliter in aqueous buffers. That's water. So they're dissolvable in water. Can venom peptides be made into drugs? Yes, there are venom peptides already on the market. For example, Byetta, which is another Gila monster venom drug. Prealt, which is a cone snail venom drug. Ecostatin, I don't know what that is. Venoms have also been used in the discovery of other drugs, such as ACE inhibitors like captopril and peptomimetics like eptifibatide. I don't know. We already read about that one earlier. Why are venoms useful in drug discovery? Because animal venoms have not evolved to cure. Look at this. Look at this first statement. Why are venoms useful in drug discovery? Animal venoms have not evolved to cure our diseases. Oh, well, then why the hell are we using them? All right, I'm not even going to read the rest of that. Y'all can read it if you want on your own. They don't cure diseases, so why are they turning them into drugs and vaccines, is what I'm trying to say. They even admit that. Why are venoms useful in crop protection? Arthropod venoms, for example, have evolved to kill insects, like scorpions they're talking about. Scorpions kill insects effectively, and many are selective to particular species. Some snakes also prey on invertebrates and have invertebrate-specific toxins. Better yet, these compounds are biodegradable and non-pollutant to the environment. Do cosmetics, venom peptides contain animal products? Our peptides are manufactured synthetically, mimicking the power of evolution, and do not contain any of the actual animal's products. They have built-in stabilization and are non-toxic to human cells and culture. Specific data is provided with each product. See our crop protection page for further information. They say it's just as biologically active as real venom, but they're going to tell you it doesn't affect your cells the same way. How does it affect life the same way? What is the composition of the Venom Tech library? I'm just going to tell you right now, they're going to tell you it doesn't affect human cells because they want you to eat their stuff. So you'll get sick and they can sell you more drugs and vaccines, surgery, radiation, you name it. What is the composition of the Venom Tech library? How many venoms do you have and what animals do they come from? Approximately 30% come from snakes, 30% from tarantula spiders, 10% from true spiders, they call them. 20% of their venoms come from scorpions and 10% from other things like jellyfish and insects. See our species list for more information. How many venoms are in the Venom Tech library? There's approximately 200 species providing venoms, which can be fractionated into 20,000 molecules. 200 different venoms. So I showed you the question, what's the composition of your library of venoms? It says 30% snakes, 30% tarantula, 10% true spiders, 20% scorpions, 10% others. Here is the actual image from the Venom library. I clicked on that and I want to show you what they show you. Spiders. Here's the list of spider venoms that they make. Here's all of them. Look at all of these. These are the spider venoms they synthetically manufacture that are just as toxic as the venom in nature inside these spiders. Look at all the spider venoms by name. I haven't even researched any of these to figure out what they do in the human body, but I will later on. Don't worry. There's just a bunch of them. And if you have cosmetics, drugs, vaccines, or a crop you're eating or produce, do you know which ones of them have this spider's venom in it? That's a lot of spiders. What about elapids, which are like king cobra venoms? Here's the list of the venoms Venom Tech makes that's ready to be added to your drug, vaccine, cosmetic, or your crop. There's the list. I want to highlight the ones that say nausea, N-A-J-A. Look at all the nausas, N-A-J-A, N-A-J-A. That's king cobra venom. All of them. Nausea means king cobra. Scorpions. Here's their scorpion venoms at Venom Tech that they use to make in cosmetics, drugs, vaccines, and crops. There's even more scorpion venoms than they use and have spider venoms. No, sorry, more than snake venoms. And there they all are. Other invertebrates like insects, you name it, here's their other ones. So you'll see, anyway, there's not very many of those, thank God. But these are different insects. What about vipers? Here's their list of viper venoms. Holy crap. Look at all those. By the way, these are some of the ones that are added to ACE inhibitor drugs just for you to lower your blood pressure. And did you ever think that your blood pressure was high because you were deficient in viper venom? Ask your doctor if viper venom's right for you, all of you that have high blood pressure. Maybe God just didn't make you with enough snake venom inside of you and you ran out over age. Other vertebrates, these are other poisonous venoms for sale. These are the Gila monster venoms that they use for Ozempic, Wegovy, Byetta, Trulicity, Majorna, and Zepbound injections for weight loss and diabetes. You know, the one that's put Oprah in the hospital multiple times recently. Also on Venom Tech's research on their website, I have to highlight this. In order to convince drug companies around the world and medical doctors around the world to convince them that they need to trust venom from animals around the world for their patients, they have to provide research studies proving or publishing their positive effects. These are some of the research studies Venom Tech is funding and has published on their website. Look at this. Identification of cobra venom actives as potential novel pancreatic cancer therapeutics. If only Patrick Swayze was still alive, maybe they could have just injected him with king cobra venom. You know, Robert Malone owns a patent from 1994 on king cobra venom being injected into cancer patients. I wonder why Robert Malone didn't get a hold of Patrick Swayze to save his life so we could have Dirty Dancing 2. I just want to show you, these are their conclusions. They actually looked in this paper for 19 different king cobra venoms that could be treating pancreatic cancer. I just want to show you Venom Tech's logo as one of the funders of this study. Here's the next study Venom Tech is actually publishing on their website and funding, targeting breast cancer signaling pathways with animal venoms. And they're going to go into breast cancer can be treated with it. I'm glad that's Danielle McCullough and not Peter McCullough as the lead author. Maybe that's his sister. Development of a compound library from cobra venom and the results of cytotoxicity screening in SW620 colorectal cancer cells. So now they're telling you king cobra venom is a cure for colon cancer. Oh my God, so crazy. And this is another one by Venom Tech. You'll actually see at the top underneath the name Emily Knight, Stephen Trim, Carol Trim, you'll see one. The first one that paid money is Canterbury Christ Church University. Venom Tech is number 2 funder. And then you'll see Canterbury Christ Church University and Venom Tech also here on the screen are funding this research study, investigation of antibacterial activity of venoms against Staph aureus. Okay, Staph is a very common bacterial infection, and now they're saying that venom can be used to treat that. All right, let's look at the highlighted sentence. The aim of this research was to develop, optimize, and validate a robust assay test for high throughput screening of venoms from king cobras, Naja nigricalis. I'm going to show you these, by the way. Nigricalis. I'm going to pronounce them, by the way. Agkistrodon contrafortix, Pictogaster, the Poecilotheria nigalis, and Pannis cavamanus resazurin was used in the indicator was used as the indicator of bacterial cell viability and antimicrobial activity. Those crazy Latin words I was just saying are the names of various snakes. I'm going to show you what snakes they are. Ready? This is the Naja nicrigalis, a black, solid black king cobra that they're saying its venom can be used to treat bacteria. Staph. This is the Accastorin contarctix, which is actually known as the copperhead snake. They just don't want to tell you that it's copperheads. And then the Poecilotheria regularis indianonoma is this big tarantula spider venom. And then this one, Pandinus cavamanus scorpion, that's a big black scorpion. They're saying all of these venoms they have found can beat staph bacteria infections. Now, I have to just say something. This is so stupid. When it's already been determined that there are natural substances as far back as 2014 in this study, there's a seed oil found in nature that all by itself beats staph infections. And here's a study. You don't even need venom to beat staph, medical doctors, lay people, patients, scientists, venom tech. You don't need venom to beat it. They already found a cure for staph aureus. Look at this article. Antimicrobial effect of Nigella sativa seed extract against staph skin infections. What is Nigella sativa seed? It comes from this flower and its seed. This study explored the effect of black seed products on the staph aureus and staph epidermis populations in babies with skin pustules. Babies. Bacterial samples were collected from infants who were hospitalized. MT Salmon showed the Nigella sativa seed oil possesses antimicrobial activity against several multi-drug resistant pathogenic disease-causing bacteria in the lab and may be used topically in susceptible cases. The oil showed pronounced dose-dependent antimicrobial activity and antibacterial activity and being more effective against gram-positive Staphylococcus aureus, staph epidermis than gram-negative bacteria. Why would we need cobra venom, copperhead venom, spider venom, and scorpion venom to beat staph aureus venom tech in Canterbury University when it was already found in 2015 that Nigella sativa oil from this flower plant already has been proven that as you increase the dose of it, it kills more and more staph aureus. Not only that, it kills more staph epidermis too, which are both gram-positive bacteria. This study indicated that the product of this plant in the treatment of localized infection is almost similar to a drug called mupirocin. Our results are in agreement with others who showed that Nigella sativa oil extracts produce antimicrobial activity against staphylococcal infections. Please, medical professionals around the world, you do not need drugs to beat staph. You just need Nigella sativa oil. Nigella sativa oil is found in our biodefense product at thedrardisshow.com. You don't need venom. Here's another one. The antimicrobial effects of animal venoms. This is actually also funded by Canterbury Christ Church University and Venom Tech. And here's the patent I wanted to show y'all that Robert Malone owns. So there's Robert Malone and his patent number 5580859 from 1994. Or sorry, date of the patent. It was filed in 1994, given to him in 1996. And what is it for? Moreover, selective delivery of toxic peptides such as ricin, diphtheria toxin, or cobra venom factor to diseased or neoplastic cells can have major therapeutic effects. Those are cancer cells. You can learn more there. And to wrap up this presentation, Interesting Engineering magazine online published this article, Scientists Develop a Gel from Spider Venom to Boost Erections. The star of the scientific breakthrough in the Phonutra nigriventer, commonly known as the banana spider or wood tree spider. This spider's venom is notorious for its toxicity. Its bite can cause rapid heartbeat, seizures, shock, and even death in humans. But it can also cause another effect, a prolonged erection that can last for hours. Who's dumb enough to put this on their penis? Who's dumb enough to put this in their penis, have sex with anybody, and insert that gel inside some other person on their penis? Well, if it gets inside the bloodstream of that person, they just told you what this venom can do. It can cause seizure, increase heart rate, and even death in humans. Why would you ever want to put this on your penis? I don't care if a dead corpse had an erection. Why would it matter? You're dead. The results of their efforts is a synthetic molecule named BZ371A. If you want to know why it's so hard for medical doctors to find venoms in the drugs won't say venom on the ingredient list. It will say this, BZ371A, on the ingredient label of this spider venom gel for erections that in the future medical doctors are going to prescribe for ED. And when you look at your doctor and go, I don't think spider venom gel is okay for my penis, your medical doctor is going to look at you and go, it doesn't have spider venom in it. And you're going to go, yes, it does. Look at the ingredient titled BZ371A and look that up online. Look it up in published medical journals. It's spider venom gel that causes increased heart rate, seizures, death, coma in humans, and it comes from the banana spider in Brazil. They say here, so far, the tests have shown that the gel works with a minimum amount and without any toxicity, as it is hardly detected in the blood. Okay, hardly detected in the blood? That means it's still being detected in the blood. That means you are susceptible to all the known toxic effects of this venom as you use it one day after another. The arachnid's venom is notorious for its toxicity. Its bite can cause rapid heartbeat, seizures, shock, and even death in humans. Women, with your men who are considering going to their medical doctor for either testosterone shots or a venom-laced gel for their penis, which one is more deadly? Ask your doctor if this spider's venom is right for your penis. Remember, Business Insider published we wouldn't have Ozempic without Gila Monsters. They're hunger-regulating venom-inspired weight loss drugs. Gila Monster venom has a compound in it that can regulate hunger. The find led to the development of a new class of obesity and diabetes drugs, including Ozempic. Now they're telling you, it's being reported around the world in mainstream articles. Here on CNN, the title reads, they took blockbuster drugs for weight loss and diabetes, and now their stomachs are paralyzed. And what do they state? Listen to this person who took Ozempic for over a year. I wish I never touched it. I wished I'd never heard of it in my life, said Knight, who's 37, of Angie, Louisiana. This medicine made my life hell. So much hell it has cost me money. It cost me a lot of stress. It cost me days and nights and trips with my family. It's cost me a lot, and it's not worth it. The price is too high. Here's another article in CNN after that other one. This is October of last year. Researchers link popular weight loss drugs to serious digestive problems for hundreds of thousands worldwide. And look at the study. A new study, this is the article that I'm showing you on the screen from CNN. First sentence, a new study suggests people taking popular injected medications for weight loss, including Wegovy, Ozempic, Saxenda, and Victoza, may be at higher risk for serious digestive problems such as stomach paralysis, pancreatitis, and bowel obstructions, compared with those taking other types of weight loss medications. The dark side of Ozempic, the hidden dangers of the black box warning. This is another article on Ozempic. Ozempic has a black box warning. The black box warning was given to Ozempic because of the increased risk of thyroid cancer, including medullary thyroid carcinoma. And there's the black box warning on the screen. What else does it do? What else does this Gila Monsters venom do in the human body? It increases your risk for thyroid tumors, called C-cell tumors. It increases your risk for developing pancreatitis, which will hospitalize most people. Super painful. It causes diabetic retinopathy complications. It causes blindness. It is a published side effect of Gila Monster venom. It detaches your retina from your eyeball and you will go blind. It also causes acute kidney failure and acute gallbladder disease. Also, Ozempic is published from this article from masteringdiabetes.org. It is known to have 9.09 times higher risk of pancreatic inflammation called pancreatitis. Ozempic has a 4.2 times higher risk of bowel obstruction, abdominal cramping, bloating, nausea, and vomiting. It increases 3.67 times higher risk of gastroparesis, stomach paralysis, leading to vomiting, nausea, and abdominal pain. Ask your doctor if they believe that you are overweight and diabetic because you are Gila monster lizard venom deficient. I have a new book coming out. I actually have just finished it 2 days ago, supplying all the data and information to our printers and publishers. It's called Moving Beyond the COVID-19 Lies, Resolving Health and Humanity, Restoring Health and Hope for Humanity. You can scan this QR code to be notified when it's ready for sale. It is not ready for sale yet, but it will be very soon. And it will be published and in print for our Healing for the Ages 2.0 conference, September 2024. I hope you guys will attend. Go to healingfortheages.com to learn more. This is where you can get our presentation in full, what I just showed you. You can download the entire presentation at thedrardisshow.com. Scan this code, come to the healingfortheages.com. I'm going to do a presentation there on day 2. Actually, it's either day 1 or day 2, Friday or Saturday. One of the 2 presentations will be, I will actually show you 100% of all long hauler COVID symptoms and vaccine injuries from COVID vaccines. 100% of them I'm going to show you are directly caused by venoms, and which ones. And I want to end with this quote from Brainy Quote: "The more hidden the venom, the more dangerous it is." From Margaret of Valois. They're hiding it in your drugs, they're hiding it in your cosmetics, they're hiding it in your food. The more hidden the venom, the more dangerous it is. Margaret of Valois. I'm Dr. Ardis. This is the Dr. Ardis Show. This was a long presentation, but I love you, God bless you, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Ardis, and I am so excited it is finally time to let you know that registration for the Healing for the Ages 2.0, dates September 12th, 13th, and 14th in Dallas, Texas, are now available. I need to let you know though, there really truly is only 500 seats in person at this conference, so those are going to sell out fast. I would really love to see you there. Between now and June 26th, there's actually going to be an early bird special. It ends on June 26th, so hurry up and get your tickets. I am so excited to have you there. Come join me, Dr. Ardis, Dr. Henry Ely, Dr. Ed Group, and Dr. Janice Schmidt for another thrilling Celebration of Solutions event, September 12th, 13th, and 14th in Dallas, Texas. We can't wait to see you there.